Hello fellow homeschool parents, Sonia here from Bethany Homeschool Academy bringing you another video today. Today's video is a continuation of our curriculum flip through videos. I've already done a curriculum flip through video on our math programs that we're using for the 2021-2022 homeschool year for my daughter's first grade year. Today I'm bringing you a curriculum flip through on our core language arts program, the Good and the Beautiful Level 1 Language Arts. We did use their Level K program last year with great success, so we decided to continue on this year with our Level 1 program. If you'd like to see a curriculum flip through of this program, please do stay tuned. Okay, so before I go ahead and do this flip through here, I do want to let you know what is included with this program. You get with it the course book, the Level 1 reader, and your phonics cards. Now these phonics cards are good for levels K1 and 2, so they do normally come with level K, and if you decide to start with level K, please be sure to hold on to them because they are good for K through 2. Now for your flip through, this program, the level 1, is all inclusive. It includes phonics, reading, spelling, writing, literature, grammar, punctuation, and art appreciation. I am going to be flipping through the 3rd edition today. From the at a glance, we can see all that is included right here on the left-hand side. We have compound words, consonant blends, decoding difficult words, multisyllabic words, dropping the E when adding ing, inflectional endings, learning and reviewing the 124 phonics cards, open and closed syllables, a multitude of phonograms, prefixes and suffixes, base words, short and long vowels, silent E, drops 1 and 2, soft C and G, sounds of Y, vowels and consonants. Under grammar, usage, and punctuation, we have a sentence needs 3 things: ABC order, capitalization, common and proper nouns, editing, homophones, irregular past tense, parts of speech, plural nouns, regular past and present tense, sentence types, sentence fragments, starting sentences with a capital letter, syllables, subject of a sentence, appropriate articles, and appropriate end punctuation. After that, we do also have literature, spelling, and writing, as well as art and art appreciation. In this level, we have 120 lessons. Now, majority of their levels do include 120 lessons, and I know a lot of people do operate on the 180-day school year. That is completely fine. You can choose to do this 3 to 4 days a week, and then you'll finish this in a full year. If you do want to go ahead and do this 5 days a week, that is perfectly fine as well. I personally do it 4 days a week, and then I use another program to complement it, an Orton Gillingham based program as a complement. I also do some additional supplementary work and stuff like that in there to go ahead and fill in those gaps. At least that's what I'm going to be doing in this year. I like to go ahead and just make sure to give my daughter extra practice wherever she needs it. That's just a thing that we do, something that she requires, okay, sometimes. All right. Now this is an open and go type of curriculum, okay? So you don't have to add all kinds of extra things to it, although it's an easy to modify curriculum to make it work for you if that is what you need to do. Now, the first thing in the beginning of this book is the about the course. I do highly recommend that you go ahead and read this entire section and read it carefully because it does answer many of people's frequently asked questions. A lot of the questions that are commonly asked by people can easily be answered by reading that section. Right here, it tells you about the phonics cards and how to organize them and use them. After that, we go on to the sight word ladders. Now, there are 18 sight word ladders included in this level. Now, some people commonly ask, if my child is able to read all 18 sight word ladders on day 1, should I skip ahead to the next level? My answer to that is no. Do not skip ahead to the next level. And the reason for that is that this program is very grammar heavy. So if your child did originally test into this level, there is a reason for that. The reason being that your child does not have all the grammar concepts down that are needed in order to successfully master the next level. Okay? So in that case, we should stick with this level. All right, now one thing you can do if your child's reading level, which is common for a child's reading level to be way ahead of their grammar knowledge. And one thing you can do for that is you can add on reading that is more suitable to their level. Now, the Good and the Beautiful does offer reading assessment on their website. So go to goodandbeautiful.com, and up there you can go ahead and download their reading assessment, give it to your child, and like that you will know their reading level. From there you can go ahead and purchase books on the Good and the Beautiful library on their website. Another thing you can do is just go to the library, your regular free public library, and take out some books at your child's level. Okay, next, after these sight word letters, here we go. We're starting with Unit 1 overview. So every single unit starts with a little overview like this. Okay, and a few things that goes over are the spelling words for this unit, major phonics and grammar principles taught, other principles taught, supplies needed, and the books that are going to be read from the level 1 reader. Here we're starting off with consonant blends. Now a lot of the first lessons are going to be review of level K. One thing I do need to let you know in here, a lot of people ask, how do I know when to administer a reading assessment? Because in the back, in the appendix of this book, there are different assessments back there. And sometimes people, they don't notice where it tells them to do the reading assessment. So it does tell you right in here, administer reading assessment A. So when you are prompted to administer that assessment, then you will administer the assessment. The first assessment for this one appears to be in lesson 3. Okay. Let's keep going on. Now here we have this little path over here on the left-hand side. One thing I like to do with these sort of reading paths is go ahead and put a number of treats right up there on each of these words. Normally I use like either popcorn or M&Ms or maybe even Skittles. I put them on each one of the words, and then my daughter will pick one up, read the word. If she's successful at reading the word, she gets to eat the treat. If she's not successful, she has to put back the treat and then try again. Now in here there are a lot of independent practice sections. I do highly recommend that you allow your child to do those sections independently. There's also a lot of art appreciation in there. Don't skip over that. As you can see, each one of these lessons is pretty short. For example, the alphabetical order lesson is simply that one page here, and then after that you're right onto the independent writing practice. Okay, now for me personally with the ABC order, we are going to add on some additional supplementary practice with that. I'll probably make up some flashcards that my daughter will put in alphabetical order, or maybe we'll just find some nice interactive activity, something on TPT or Pinterest, to kind of keep practicing that from time to time, especially because we are going to be doing a lot of dictionary work next year as well. Okay, Unit 1 review is kind of long here, as you can see. One thing I'm going to do, I'll probably spend a couple days on this Unit 1 review. I'm not going to tackle it all in one day. That's something you might want to do as well. After that, we have the Unit 1 assessment. Now, me personally, when I have an assessment one day, I decide to just do the assessment that day, and we won't do any further lessons in that subject. So if that's an assessment day, then that's an assessment day, and that's it. Now we're on Unit 2. 2-syllable words, some more 2-syllable words, descriptive words, homophones, blends, ed, ing, Beatrix Potter and nature. We like these sentence circles. Now I'm just going to go ahead and show you what it would be like to do a lesson in here. They are pretty short and sweet. So right here it says practice these sight word ladders. You would go ahead, go to the front of the book and practice your sight word ladders. You could do that in a multitude of ways. You could practice it straight out of the book, or you can even write those words on flashcards and have your child practice them that way. After that, you come here and you read exactly what it says here in black. The letter Y has 4 sounds, and then you go over that with your child. When Y is at the beginning of a word, it always says, yeah, read these words, and your child will read the words in purple. After that, you'll say, when Y is at the end of a 1-syllable word, it says I as in my. Read these words, and your child will read those words. Next, you'll come here. When Y is at the end of a word with more than 1 syllable, it says E as in baby. Read these words, and your child will read those words. Okay, another thing I like to do is to grab those words, put them on flashcards so that we can keep practicing over and over. And I do personally like to do daily review where I review these concepts. Sometimes I also add in my own little words in order to help my daughter understand it. If that's necessary, if it's needed, you don't need to do that. That's just us. After that, it says, have the child read the words on the path at the bottom of this page. So like I said, you can go ahead and put little pieces of candy up there, kind of as a reward for them reading a word correctly. After that, it says write the words 2, 2, and 2 on a board and have the child say a sentence that uses each of these words. So that's practicing your homophones. After that, it goes into, in the level 1 reader, have the child read Robin in the Park. So you would go ahead and grab your level 1 reader, have the child open up to page number 67, and they can read you Robin in the Park. It's only a few pages, not that long. Once you're done with that, you can let them go ahead and work on their independent spelling practice. Go ahead and check all the boxes, and your lesson is done for the day. Okay, easy as that. Next lesson, Sounds of Y continued. Part 2, parables. And That's a tough one. But they do provide a lot of practice on that. Again, here's some writing. Now, The Good and the Beautiful does have their own philosophy on writing. That philosophy being that they don't like to have a child write too much too early, and they also don't like to introduce writing too soon. So you won't see a lot of writing introduced until level 4. If you're interested in adding more writing for your child, because that is what they need, then you can go ahead and try to add in some supplemental writing, maybe doing a writing journal. That's something that I've done with my daughter. You could also possibly try a program called IEW, the Institute for Excellence in Writing, or even Write Shop. Those are 2 very common and popular programs. Other things you can try are Evan Moore or Spectrum. Okay, continuing on, level 2 assessment, overview of 3. Now they go into editing, Aesop's Fables. And there's a lot of practice in here for editing paragraphs, okay? Now we have adjectives and practicing adjectives by listing adjectives that describe Christ. Now, this is a Christian curriculum. Keep that in mind. Spelling rules, words with open and closed syllables, common and proper nouns, some art appreciation, homophone practice, more spelling rules, more editing, more practice on open and closed syllables, ed, ing, and then here you are finding all the nouns and adjectives in these 2 poems. Here's some more story editing and fill in the blank. There's our writer's workshop here. Now this is more of a prompt. Working more with those open and closed syllables. Now we got into our Unit 3 review. And then our Unit 3 assessment. Now, one thing with these assessments are not very long, and the reason for that being is that you're working one-on-one with a child. This is not being used in a public school, meaning that you don't have to keep a whole ton of data. You don't need to do any excessive testing. You're homeschooling, okay? I just want people to keep that in mind. Some people are new to homeschooling, so they don't really know this. They're used to very long and lengthy assessments or even standardized testing that can take days. That's not necessary in homeschooling. Okay, of course every state is different, right? So maybe you need to take standardized tests in your state, but not in mine. Anyhow, the testing in this program is very short. Okay, now we're moving on here. Now they're going over possible main characters, settings, problem, and solution. So they're getting introduced to writing a short story. Now we go to compound words. And this is a little activity to do where they make a flap chart with the compound words. So we get some art involved in there. We have some practice with sign language. So I do already practice a lot of sign language with my daughter every single day. We do the alphabet or her ABCs in sign language daily. She also did learn a little bit of sign language in summer camp. Editing, fiction versus nonfiction, oi and oi, o and o, Unit 5. Here's a little writer's workshop, my book of nouns and adjectives. Again, it's a prompt. Dropping the E rule, part 1. So this comes in multiple parts. Part 2. Types of sentences. Coding challenging words. Adding and s to words, sensory language, prefixes. There's a lot of practice with these prefixes. And you're going to do some artwork here. This is an artwork day. So you'll go ahead and you'll look at the piece of artwork here, and then your child will go ahead and replicate on this side. More work with prefixes, homophones, base words, plural nouns. Now there's tons of practice in here with plural nouns, okay? They do also go over regular and irregular past tense. And more, and some suffixes. Okay. Decoding challenging words. Now your level 5 review. Unit 5 review, sorry. And your final course assessment. Now I was talking before about that reading assessment. So in the back of the book, in the appendix, okay, back here, there are reading assessments. You have reading assessment A and reading assessment B. Now, when your child first does these assessments, they will not be able to successfully read every single word. They will not fly through it, most likely. The reason for that being is that this is to gauge progress over time, okay? So you can't gauge progress over time if your child just knows it all from day one. Just saying, okay? But even if they do happen to know all these words from day one, you could still work on fluency at that point. You know, fluency is another thing you can work on. So you're still going to be taking down the amount of time that it takes them to complete the reading. So that's another thing. All right, then we do also have these charts here in the back, and you will be prompted when to complete each one of these charts. Each one of these charts will be practiced multiple times throughout the course. Again, you'll be prompted when to do so. Also back here, we do have some spelling charts that are included in the curriculum. If you would like to work on these, you can. These are just extra. There's also some poetry memorization with a whole bunch of poems here in the back that you'll be memorizing and recording. All right, and that is it for the course book. Now for the reader. Here's our reader. It starts off very, very short and easy. Okay, and then the words slowly progress as we go through. Now the stories in here are very wholesome. You will not find any foul language. You will not find any disrespect for parents. You will also not find anything like back-talking or disrespect for authority or any of those things that are present in modern day books. So that's a good thing, right? A lot of people who have their children read From the Good and the Beautiful books, they do find that there is a change in their child's attitude and behavior over time. And that their child becomes more sensitive to certain types of language and behaviors in books. And even in films and TV. Okay. I'm just going to skip fast through this. Okay, and that is it for that. Now to have a little bit of a look at these phonics cards, we do have some single as well as multi-letter phonograms, and then also some word families. Okay, and each word family comes with its own set of words. Alright, and that is all for today. I really do hope that you enjoyed this flip through. If you did, please do go ahead and like this video and subscribe to my channel. Also, don't forget to click on the little bell icon for updates on future videos. Have a nice day.